Hi, welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson is on the importance of communities, and it's the first lesson in the ecology section of the AQA Biology Trilogy specification. Okay, so what we're looking at is the importance of communities today. So if you're following along on the worksheet, you'll find that there is a keyword section with the definitions. This is for you to fill in as we go through the lesson with what the keyword is that matches the definitions. I've also given you the keywords on the worksheet, and you just got to work out what they mean throughout the lesson. At the end of the lesson, we'll come back to this task. Okay, so before we get started on today's lesson, a little bit of retrieval practice. So this is all to do with genetic variation from Key Stage 3. So can you go through all of these questions, pause the video and have a go? It's really, really important that we spend time trying to retrieve this information from the back of our memory, okay? So pause the video, have a go at these 5 questions now. They're on the worksheet attached to the lesson. Okay, so you should have paused the video. If you haven't, pause it now and do it. Okay, so you should have paused the video and completed these 5 questions. Okay, so here's the answers. And now let's get on a bit more with the lesson. So here you'll find the specification. This is from the exam board from AQA Trilogy that will go through part of what we're going to look at today. We're not going to cover all of this today, but we're going to go through some of this today. So you can pause the video and have a little read of what the exam board requires you to know. So what we're going to look at is what abiotic and biotic factors are in an ecosystem. So first of all, what do they mean? So the biotic factors are the biological factors, the living things in an ecosystem, okay? So I want you to start listing, again, if you're following along on the worksheet attached to the lesson, I want you to start listing those living things that have an impact on an ecosystem. The abiotic factors are the physical factors, the things that aren't alive, how they have an impact on an ecosystem, okay? So for example, that would be sunlight hours, it would be how much water there was, okay? To go through the abiotic factors and the biotic factors, the things that would affect an ecosystem. So pause the video, have a little go. Okay, so you should have paused the video and started to list down some abiotic and biotic factors. You probably also filled in the keywords for those in the keyword sheet. So let's just have a little bit some more examples. So the abiotic factors, like I said, were light intensity, how much light availability, wind intensity, the availability of oxygen, temperature, whereas biotic are the living things. So they're the predators, the availability of food, the pathogens, the competitors, and we're going to talk about those biotic factors in a lot more detail in future lessons. Okay, so pause the video, make sure you filled in that table. Okay, so is this a stable community? So have a little look. Do you think this defines a stable community? So a stable community is where, ignoring seasons, where pretty much everything stays the same. So populations of the animals stays the same, the abiotic and biotic factors stay the same. So can you explain, do you think this might be a stable community? Pause the video, have a little think. Again, if you're following along on the worksheet, this is a question on the worksheet. What about this one? Do you think that this is a stable community?
On this trip. You're gonna have so much fun. And remember, if something chases you,
Almost 40 feet high. Really think she climbed out? Depends. On what? Evacuate the island. She's a highly intelligent animal.
So is this a stable community? Do you think that was an example of a stable community? So by now you should have gone through the definitions that we started with at the beginning of the lesson and gone through the keywords. We should be familiar with the terms ecosystem, abiotic and biotic factors, interdependence, when all the living things rely upon each other, and the ecosystem is what we've mentioned as well. So community and stable community, what they mean, so make sure you've gone through all those definitions. Now the final task is to complete the exam question. Okay, there's an exam question on the worksheet. Can you complete that exam question, please?